good to go. So you guys have a good call, and I will just mute myself out.
All right. Did you just eat?
Grumbling. Chicken.
Yeah, I just had we just made a chicken salad over here.
I just had cake.
Well, that sounds good.
You just had cake? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, I said that sounds good.
What was the occasion?
It was someone's birthday, and the cake was in my fridge.
Oh, so happy birthday to you too.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to introduce my friend Terry to everyone while we start. Terry, this is our group. It spans about, as you can see, lots of different people coming across the board. And Terry is sitting here. She is my next door neighbor. And
hi, Terry.
We met kind of just.
Hey, Terry. Hi.
Okay, there's Forbes. There she is. She's been when is the last time, Forbes, that you were home?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me? When is the last time you were home?
About 12 weeks ago, I was home for 2 days, so it's been a little challenging. I'm here outside my doctor's office at the moment. I'm here with Josh. Everybody say hi to Josh.
Hi, Josh.
We have been on the road. We've experienced summer vacation with the kids. We went for a week dude ranching. I have been in like 10 different states. I've been in Colorado. I've been in Boise, Idaho. I've been in California. We've been in Nevada. We've been in New Jersey. We've been in St. Louis. We've been in
Minnesota.
I don't know, Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota. Fuck. I mean, it's like 10 different states in I don't know 10 weeks. I'm tired. I'm a little what can I tell you? I look terrible, actually.
But Forbes, even on her weakest day, is stronger than about 90% of humanity. So I brought my friend to you, Forbes, because, and I'm so glad that you are on. I know that you sacrifice so much with your family's time and Joshua's time. Joshua, if you're listening, thank you so much for sacrificing time from her for us, because I hope and I believe that she's going to make a huge difference in my friend's life, because Terry experienced a disability from her work, where she ran into something because it was in the way. She was working a factory job, and she had to stop working because of a disability. It's been how many years?
3 years.
It's been 3 years. The doctor who did her surgery messed up. He retired after her surgery, but he never admitted that he screwed up. But the surgery was done wrong, and still she cannot lift her arm higher than, why don't you show them? This is her left arm, and she can't lift it any higher than that. And then she broke her wrist on her other arm because she was trying to do the laundry, and she lost her balance because she's doing it with one arm. So Terry has been living in this bubble of, you probably have depression. I would not be surprised, Terry, because that's hard, and especially when you're alone. And this is a group of people who all have experienced their own hardships. Each one of these faces has gone through something difficult. And Forbes's big motto in life is that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So she is the kind of person that helps your perspective morph to see how this element in your life can actually be a great strength and can be the trajectory of the next phase of your life. So she's already tearing up.
Well, and it's okay, by the way, Terry, to tear up. We do that all the time. And let me share something with you. I just spent 3 days with my doctor, and you know how he got to where he is? 10 days after his son was born, his wife died the day after Thanksgiving, okay? He was 33 years old. She was 33 years old. That was the first tragedy that happened to him. And then he got married again, and it was a beautiful thing until they got pregnant, and their son had an injection in the womb because of something that happened, and he was born completely autistic, unable to speak, and then 30 years later he's institutionalized, and he ended up getting divorced from her. So you want to talk us out some tragic shit, and this is one of the leading doctors of our time, but primarily that was because of the things that happened to him. And he also teared up as he was spending the last couple of days talking to me on camera. But I got to tell you, no matter what happens to you, on our best day or on our worst day, that's probably better than he will ever have. Does that make sense? So while I feel, sad that certain things happen, I also understand that life really does happen for you, not to you. And so, Aaron, I see that you also have somebody who's joining you. Do me a favor, somebody's got a dog in the background. Can you guys quiet your, can you mute your Zoom? All right, so who's got a baby dog that's kind of barking in the background? Just make sure that you mute yourself. It makes it easier to hear everybody. Is that Chris? Can you make sure that you?
Forbes, I can actually hear a dog in the background, but I would like to share a story that's actually relevant to what you just said and to Brianna's friend's situation. May I?
Sure.
I actually suffered an injury to my forearm when I was younger. That it affected my dexterity. I was unable to coordinate my hand movements, and I started doing exercises and things to develop it. And my passion for the exercises and activities that I started doing led to further development that were actually the origin for the spin weight exercise machine that I made, which creates an effect that's going to be it's something that I could understand, that I could explain to Dr. Nick very clearly, and he would understand well. That it has a likely chance to be able to affect his son's autistic condition.
So his disability led to him inventing something that is going to be a workout device and help in other areas of people's lives too.
Yes, it helped me develop my coordination of my hands, and then in the process, I developed a machine that develops a coordination of thought in a way, and that the sense-response interaction with this physical force coordinates between my hemispheres, and that it generates traffic and information flow through a system that a movement system, which is the human species, that and we adapt to the flow of this energy with adaptations. So I discovered a way to develop and channel this energy flow through my hands by doing dexterity exercises to recover my coordination.
There you go.
So I accidentally learned how to stimulate my brain through my hands, and then went on to develop inventions that would stimulate the frequency of sense response interactions that were at the wavelength that I was most responsive to. And so
And all of that because of a disability.
It comes about.
Yeah.
So guys,
So
I have a Chris, hang on. I've got a limited time. Hang on, I've just got a limited time before I have to go into my doctor's. So I'm gonna let you guys continue the phone call without me. But for a second, Brianna, tell me your girlfriend's name again.
It's Terry.
Hey Terry. So let me ask you a question. I know this sounds crazy, but what is your first memory in life?
It was finding a sculpture.
No, not yours, Chris. Not yours, Chris. Hang on. I'm gonna ask.
You're talking
Terry.
to her?
Yeah, just real quick.
Okay, so what was your first memory? Good or bad? Your first one?
No, I don't care what it is. I don't know what good or bad is. I just want to know your first memory.
My first memory of life?
Yep.
Growing up with my family.
Okay, exactly what's the memory?
Being in a home with 3 brothers and getting stung by a bee.
Getting stung by a bee. That's very interesting. How old were you?
I was probably 3, 4.
Okay, and did it hurt?
Oh, yeah.
And what was the reaction of everybody around you?
Screaming, boys screaming.
Okay, so what decision does a little girl make about life from that very moment?
Life goes on.
Okay, but that there's some pain to it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. That I don't know you very well, but I'm going to tell you that that's probably been playing out your entire life, that there's pain in your life and that you've been carrying on anyway. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that memory has got to be changed for you because that is running your hard drive, my love. And that you expect pain, and that's part of what's happened in your whole life. Are you not married now?
I'm not married. I live with my boyfriend.
Okay, but you still carry this.
Yeah.
How did your parents react? Were your parents married?
My dad left when I was young.
Okay, so you have all kind of impressions about life, but the thing that's running your hard drive, and Brianna, you can further explain this to her when I get off the phone, but if your first memory drives you, you're running on the idea that you've been stung by a bee and you're crying, and you've been hurt your whole life. So it doesn't surprise me that you're hurt right now. And how about we get really angry, whether it's at the B or whatever, but that we let this go and we get pretty angry about it because you have you're a very sweet, wonderful lady, and you've been suppressing this anger for a very, very long time. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so how about it's about time that you stand up for yourself and you go, you know what, I deserve more than this. If I asked you to say your name for me out loud.
Terry,
And say, I'm enough.
I'm enough.
Do you believe that?
Yep.
Do you really believe it?
No.
Yeah. So what I want you to do, and maybe Brianna, you can do this a little bit for me, is to help push her. I know you have not been to class, so maybe it's Tucker or somebody who's been through this. But when I get called into the doctor, I've got to run out, and I don't want to leave you just yet, but I really want you to break through this moment of you need to own who you are, my love. You need to stop playing so small because you deserve more. And I will tell you, when you break through this, not only will you be able to lift your right arm, but you will come to understand that life is so much different than you possibly imagined. And how crazy that, but a bee just actually, literally just flew into my car. That's so weird. That is so weird, as though it was a spirit that says, you know what? You deserve more. You absolutely deserve more, and we're going to make this happen for you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That this community can help you get out of this. I may not be able to do this at this moment, but I'm going to ask you to come back next Thursday when I can focus on you, if that would be okay.
Yeah.
And so, number one, give Brianna a hug and say thank you. Well, because of her wisdom and her being willing to stand for people, you're in a place that you've never been before. And I would love to bring you forth into all of this. And Chris, I love that you're reaching out. Who is was also who is it, Leah? Somebody else had somebody else in their arms. Who else? Who else was I looking at that had a neighbor or somebody with them?
Erin.
Oh, that's cool. I did, but she's driving. It's really pretty.
Okay. Oh, and Aaron.
My
Yeah.
video sound
Aaron's
cut
got
out
something else.
right after I heard you say your name, but I didn't hear
So
what you said.
I must leave at the moment, and I'm so sorry. Aaron, who do you have next to you?
This is one of my friends, TJ. He's a friend from church. I've been talking to him about you, and he's kind of interested, so he wanted to hop on and see what this is all about.
Hey, TJ, again, I apologize. I've been on the road. We don't normally have this issue where Chuck and myself are both traveling. But I will tell you, when you get to witness what we do, it's...
You just went on mute.
You just muted yourself. There you go.
There you go.
Have you noticed a shift in Aaron since you've known him?
We haven't been that close since we've known each other from the beginning, so I don't know if I could answer that question accurately.
Aaron, have you noticed a shift in yourself since you've met me?
I have noticed a shift in myself, and I think everybody here, or at least the ones that saw me when I first walked in the door, and then from where I was there to where I am now, I think they probably see a little bit of a difference.
A little bit, Aaron. You are a firefly right now. Are you kidding me? You came into our world very closed, very small, very afraid when I met you about 7 or 8 months ago, and I had lunch with you, which was a blessing, with this bright, smiling guy I see before me now. And TJ, one of the things that we offer here is that we get you to just look at life in a different, open, very exciting perspective. We firmly believe that life happens for you, not to you. On this call tonight, I'm going to let Joni and TJ and Leah and Jose and Susan just chime in so that they can share with you their experience of transformation. And then please, will you come back next Thursday so I can really kind of share with you what I do for real?
Sure. Yeah.
So, Tucker, why don't you take it away? And then, Jose, I would love you to chime in and let me go just check in with my doctor. I'm going to leave my phone on to hear what I can, but I'm going to mute it, okay?
Okay.
All right, you guys.
What's up, guys? Force family. All right, so today we got to start off with the win, just like we do every call. So, Doris, you're the first one on here all the time. Got the biggest smile. What's that win for today?
Reading another chapter of the book.
Okay. What'd you learn? What's that one thing?
That it has to do with your purpose, has to do with God, and keeping Him in mind all through your day.
Wow. I want to piggyback off that. I'll go since I'm the next one on the screen. Is I was at my college the other day, and I went to the alumni office, and I told him what I love to do, and that's just meet new people and go to the top. And he gave me this book, The Power of Who. You already know whoever you need to know. And so I actually looked up the author, and his office is in Dallas, Texas. And I went straight into his office that day, hoping he would be there. He's an executive recruiter for sports guys. And he spent 30 minutes talking to me.
Nice.
And he has another book. It's called Two Chairs. And he gave it to me, and it's about how you start your day matters. And another person on this call, her name's Tina. She kind of helped me find God. And Doris, I don't know what it is, but what a coincidence. And I'm happier than I've ever been. So I thank you for that.
Amazing.
Cool. So Karen, what about you?
I renewed my membership to the National Speakers Association Central Florida chapter. We're all doing, they're really pushing for early bird joining this year, and they gave us a discount, which I've never seen in all the years I've been. And I'm going to the meeting on Saturday, so I'm very excited about that.
So what is your goal, like with the NSA?
What is my goal? Is to have a thriving speaking business, to find my way to break.
Karen, hang on a second. I have to be very self-serving at the moment. While I like the NSA and all that's great, and I think the goal tonight is to really explain. You've been through several Forbes factors, which I'm finding very hard to describe. Can you tell our new guests what Forbes factor is, what people have experienced, what you've witnessed, what you've personally transformed, because that's kind of what tonight's call is about?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. No, that's fine. That's fine. I have experienced lots of breakthroughs within myself, as well as seeing everybody on this call having great breakthroughs. Everybody on this call has been extremely brave and courageous in letting themselves be very vulnerable in doing the going through Forbes Factor or being on these calls and having Forbes work with them to have many breakthroughs, which end up being real massive breakthroughs when it really comes down to it. But just it's just been remarkable to see Tucker and Susan and Leah and Aaron were the ones that I saw up close and personal have some major breakthroughs. And for myself, it's just giving me a vision of what is possible and what direction I'm going. So that in combination with what I'm doing with other support is really helped me immensely. And Forbes just has a heart of gold. I love her so much. I'm so grateful for her and for her creating this whole group for us to have. And I've learned so much from everybody in this group as well. So my heart's just full of gratitude towards Forbes and everybody in this group.
Aaron, what's a win for you, and what's your Forbes Factor experience like?
A win for me. Well, I'm going to go back to being a regular procurement agent at Boeing, which I've been kind of hoping to get back to. There's other things that I'm looking at Boeing that I think would be even better. Still under consideration for that, but I've got just interviewed a second interview to go back to being a procurement agent for a company that really needs some help getting turned around. And they heard that I can do a good job on that. So I haven't got the official offer, but the manager said that they would love to have me on the team and I should have an offer in a couple of days. Of course, they put the caveat if they decide to go with me. So cross my fingers on that, but the interview went well. Sounds like a win. I'll at least be able to go help this other company transform, become better, get them out of the rut that they're in, move forward, prove my capabilities. And while I'm doing that, hopefully this other opportunity that's out in the DC area will open up for me.
Good, man. You're a rock star.
So that I would say is my win for this week.
No, because I'm doing
Forbes Factor has really changed my life. It's
No, and I want to just take a pause and say that there's these Thursday and Wednesday night calls. There's the Thursday calls at 7:00 Eastern or Central, and that happens so that visitors can come and can be part of this coaching and see what it's like to be part of Forbes' group. Wednesday nights at 7 East Central, that's when all of us come on, and the paying members are able to get like direct help and connections from Forbes, and she introduces us to people in all these different ways to make extra money and to be built up and to have different people connections. But Forbes Factor is an event that people have attended where she gets down and dirty deep with people, and she gets into like, you know, we just scratched the surface with you, and that's why she's hoping and saying like, come next week, we're going to finish what we started. But each of these people that is giving a testimony is talking about, if they're talking about Forbes Factor, they're talking about this event where you are submersed in dealing with past issues, past problems, and how those issues have run your life because it's been a virus into your hard drive. The very first time I ever came on one of these calls, she did one of those, we call it being Forbesed, on a woman who had had her first memory be coming down the steps in a dress. She felt beautiful, but her dad saw her, didn't say anything. And immediately she felt dejected, she felt rejected, she felt like she was beautiful and she wasn't enough. And all of those things still in her mind were true. And so that affected how she approached her business. She didn't feel like she was good enough to be worthy of someone's business. She didn't feel like she was beautiful enough for her husband. After Forbes was done with her, meaning got to the core, very strategically withdrew the issue that she had as a virus in her hard drive, she was glowing. And you should see her Facebook posts. She's beautiful. She's got this new swagger, and she is a different person because that virus that was running her hard drive is gone. And now everything else is clear, and she can operate as a normal person without that having ever happened. So these testimonies are from like a week-long solid time with Forbes, which you can imagine after 5 minutes being with her was amazing. So I just wanted to define that, just because this isn't Forbes Factor. This is our calls, and Forbes Factor is that event. But please continue. Sorry. Thank you, Aaron, for letting me interrupt.
Hey, no problem. I was just going to say that my experience going in there, I was very sheltered, very reserved, very, I guess, standoffish, not trusting of anybody, always looking and observing, but not letting anybody approach or come into my life. Afterwards, it helped me to see that I can trust people, that I can like open up, break that barrier down. I've been able to be more vocal in the jobs that I've been doing, the businesses that I've been running. I'm securing finances for another business opportunity that I've got going, and looking to negotiate a joint venture with the company that's doing the programming, and they're pretty excited to get into that. So there's a lot of things that just seem to be falling into place now. And I think it's because I'm opening up more, I'm being trusting of them. I still have some doubts that are in my mind that I'm trying to be cautious of, because I don't want to just blindly trust everything that comes into my life. But I am being more open, more honest, more vocal. I shouldn't say more honest. I always try to be honest. But by just going out there, being myself, and opening up to the people that I've been introduced to that can help me, and sharing my story with them, what it is that I want to do, and how I can help them and they can help me. And when they catch that vision, they get the excitement too. And now they're wanting to come in and be a part of it. And it's very exciting. So I'm seeing Boeing take off and putting me back to where I want to be. I'm seeing my business with the speakers starting to take off better. Got a website that's just about developed. I just mailed some speakers off today to a charity that wanted to do a raffle with them and have them as prizes. Been talking and ended up meeting a media director for a place. Crap, I can't remember the name of the burger place, but he was the media director for there and knew some people that had some YouTube channels. So he's looking into finding some tech YouTube channels to do some reviews for my speakers. And it seems like there's just all these, introductions have led me to new people, have given me new experiences, and the network keeps growing. The businesses seem to be doing a lot better. And it's just amazing to see how that change in your life and that change in your outlook on life can turn around so that others see that light within you and they want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. And so moving forward, it's been keeping me extremely busy. So I'm sorry I'm not on these calls a lot of the time, but I love being busy. I love the fact that things look to be taking off, and I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Do you think Forbes Factor made you more focused? I heard you just say, like, you keep having all these introductions. And one thing that's kind of bad about networking is you're going all over the place and people can steer you in different directions. So do you think Forbes Factor made you more focused on what you want to accomplish and what you want?
Yeah. I mean, I love the introductions. Sometimes the people you meet aren't going to be a good fit. You maintain friendships, you keep them in mind. If you hear of anything that can help or benefit them, you can help them out. But if it doesn't match with the way you want to go or the way I'm going, it's not a good fit. And you don't have to do business with everyone that you get introduced to. But having those introductions is great. It expands your network and expands your capability of being able to help others out when the need comes.
Love it. Brianna, do you have a win?
Yes, my win is starting Verdition this morning and not wanting to put it down. It was really good and it was eye-opening. I kind of skipped ahead to this one chapter because I'm practicing for my audition that I hopefully will be able to film this Saturday if my husband's not as sick as he is now. And so the win was like reading that book. It was super timely, and reading the message that Forbes wrote on the front of it. It was just a really good way to start my day.
Fantastic. How about you, Joni? Miss Queen Boobalicious.
I don't know, a lot of great things are happening with me. And, when I first came on this, I haven't even been to Force Factor, and I'm already feeling a change. I mean, I came on this with my hair up and glasses on, not feeling good about myself. Now I let my hair down. I put a little makeup on before I get on here. I feel good about myself. I'm going to the gym, and it's because of everyone on here, the encouragement, and for the first time, and I mean it, I care about me. And this has helped me so much. Like, I really, truly care about me. And I don't think that's ever happened. So I want to cry, but that is the truth. And a win for me, I'm getting emotional because it's so true. This has impacted me so much. And I'm sorry.
No, it's great. It's a huge, touching moment.
Yeah. But it really has impacted me.
How has your life changed?
I mean, since I've been here, I have more confidence. I've been on 2 podcasts. I got pitched by Kevin Harrington. I'm actually sending him my products on Saturday. They got in touch with me, and I'm going to mail the products on Saturday. What else? We'll see what happens. And I'm going with my labels that I was upset with. And I visit my business mentor, and it's free. If you don't know about Small Business Association, it's in every state. They have mentors, and it's all free. And I meet with him every 2 weeks, and we're going over a business plan. He's helping me with it. And he told me that I need to stick with the labels for now. And he told me to go to this print shop. They're going to tweak it, and we're going to make it work. And I'm just going to go with what I have. So This whole experience, bottom line, has been awesome. And I'm moving forward with everything, myself, my business, and new friends that I met on here. So just awesome. about everything on here.
That is exactly what my transformation has been. I have been more confident. I post Facebook Lives. I pitched Kevin Harrington. I have new business mentors. And I am just like, Forbes is condensing my life.
Yep.
And that's what showing up on these calls have done for me, and being active and being participated. My life is like going by. So I love that, Joni.
Okay, thank you.
Leah, hit us up with a win today.
Hey, sorry, it's a little dark in the background. I'm in the car and it's getting dark here. But so, been incredible, and my wins, I guess daily, interestingly, have been that in all of my classes, I've gotten testimonies from participants, and that's been
Oh, bummer.
Thank you. Oh, I know that's kind of like loud or weird, but hey, there we go. How's that? A little bit better. Great testimony from my class members on how I've affected their lives positively with their health and wellness and fitness and goals and, levels of strength they built since coming to my classes. And I realized how impactful I've been. And by just being vulnerable and they just decided that to connect on a deeper level with people who have been diligent and consistent with me throughout training in the years that I've been doing this, because I used to just come to class and teach the class and leave and not, truly place emphasis on the connection that I had, and I didn't realize how much people were paying attention to me, for me to be a leader. I thought literally I would just come in to teach, certain exercises and go on to the next class and go on to the next class. But I just walked in with a different level of confidence and understanding my purpose and, doing what all that I do. And I'm just excited about it. And identifying my why for what I do was huge for me. And like, we've all said who've gone through Forbes Factor, or those who have not, even just with showing up on these calls every week and connecting with her and connecting with everybody throughout our coaching sessions, just having a level of vulnerability and being open and honest and understanding what our setbacks were and what they do for us, so that we can connect with people and truly, what's the word? Or phrase. Just be authentic. And
Leah, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You said you've identified your why, and that's helped become more clear.
Mm-hmm.
How do you identify that why, and what is it?
Well, my why is that, number one, it's not about me. And I have such a great base and a knowledge and passion for a healthy lifestyle, and understanding as an individual how to channel in with people as individuals and ask them and have the confidence and say, hey, what do you need, and what can I do, and what can I find for you, so that I can help to enhance your life and be that level of accountability. And so I've identified myself as that level of accountability for a lot of members or clients or what have you at all of these different gyms and fitness facilities that I work at. And I've just made that a big mission of mine, to teach people about how to live better and be there for them and say, hey, I'm here for you, and make myself available.
Can you talk about how, when you got mugged, that was how you turned that around to be for you?
Yeah, so
how it changed.
So when I got those two guns stuck in my back and someone stole my car, I realized that angels were surrounding me, and I had to slow myself down and calm down and say, well, what am I doing? What am I, I was running from gym to gym. I was working at the time, I think, at 7 different gyms. And I would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go from class to class to class. And in between, I would go from client to client. But I wasn't really, I was just going and moving and not operating in a purpose. And so I think that experience made me stop and say, well, what are you doing this for? Yes, this is a passion of yours, but what are you doing for other people? And are you truly giving yourself to other people? And stop and rest and take a step back and perfect your craft, but really be intentional about exactly what your audience is and who you can give the knowledge base, I guess, that I had in the certain levels of expertise in particular parts of fitness or certain age groups or what have you, and develop that, if that makes sense.
That is fantastic. And Susan, what about you?
Well, I was happy my son was able to come and visit for a couple of days and from England, and so that would really, warms my heart because I don't see him that often. And he's instrumental also in keeping me on track as far as the YouTubes and all of that. He's pretty much the one behind all of that that's instrumental in the next every step that I'm doing. So it was nice having him here and just being able to talk one-on-one, and then also getting to know what's going on in his life and what's happening it helped me. I needed a little bit of a reboot. It's been a little tough the last couple of months, but so that was a positive. I was really happy about that, and just trying to stay positive and continue and just keep going and looking at the bigger picture rather than just where I'm at. And that's what I'm working on these days, is just looking at the bigger picture, not comparing, not analyzing, but knowing that this is just where I'm at. And that's all that is, and that there's a lot to do, and I'm constantly trying to figure out and put the energy and the know-how to do it. So a little bit more positive this week.
How do you start your day?
How do I start my day? It's always a silent one-on-one with God. I either journal or pray or look at my journal. Sometimes I flip through the journal. I don't tend to keep my journals, but I always have at least a 6-month or so journal. And I'll ask God a question and I'll ask for confirmation. And so it's the very first moments are always God. And after that, I go ahead and I'm up. If I'm not a bad habit of having my computer on my bed, waking up, looking at the stats, looking at everything, I'm finding myself now just putting the computer in the workroom and, really focusing on getting up properly and, before I even touch the computer. So yeah, that's the first thing I do. And
did you go to Forbes Factor?
I was in Forbes Factor. Yep, the last one. I was there.
How did that change your life?
It was amazing. I mean, because I didn't expect any of it. I didn't understand what was going to happen. It wasn't a planned out thing. It was an instantaneous thing for me because someone was Stacy was checking into my Airbnb and she was telling me that she was going. I said, you got to be kidding. I said, I've been trying to contact her, for months. And so I was able to get in that instantly. So it wasn't thought out. I had no idea what it was going to be. And watching the transformation on people, I think, was the most amazing thing to me. Watching the before and after, I mean, with minutes in between, total changes in people's demeanor. I mean, it really is amazing. And I got very touched with one of the last exercises, which was a very difficult exercise. I did not know it was coming. I didn't know what to expect. but it did touch me deeply. And I think it, to the point where I'm still working that out. You know what I mean? Like I'm still working out that pain that it tapped into 2 months ago or so. But no, it's definitely life-changing. And the people, that's the most amazing part of it. I mean, just this whole group that I think are just amazing. And you want to know more about what everybody's doing. You know what I mean? It's not like you go off to another event or to school, and it's not even the same. I can't explain how you feel with these people, the people that are in the group. It's just, whether I express it or whether I, give the compliments or the comments as often as I probably should, I do feel it. And I do appreciate everybody that's been in it, and it's been very uplifting. So.
How about you?
Sorry?
How about you? What are some wins today? And have you gone to Forbes Factor?
Yeah, I was in Forbes Factor.
No, this is Deanna.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, it's Dina. How are you doing?
Dana, what's up?
Dina, hey, how are you? Yes, I did Forbes Factor last July in California. So I went in July of last year, spent 3 days there with Forbes, and wins for me today. Pretty much I've gotten to serve other people. I've gotten to be there, and I just have a different mindset of everything's a win, making a positive out of everything. So, yeah.
What was a win today?
I take an elderly patient to dialysis 3 times a week, and usually I'm serving him, and I get to be there for him. And today was a very bad day for him. And so upon taking him back home, I was able to sit and minister to his wife as well and help her. And before I left today, he fell. So I'm a therapist by trade. So I got to kind of utilize some of my skills. So that was a win, and was able to advocate for them. So I made a big difference in someone else's life that they weren't expecting it, neither was I, but it was just really rewarding to be able to be there for them. So that was my big win.
That's awesome.
Deanna, would you mind sharing what's happened in your life and the difficulties that you have overcome and have found to be the life that's happened for you?
Okay. Again, and I say it's Dina because everyone calls me Deanna.
Okay.
I know that Forbes has shared some of my story with some people, but my mom died when I was 7 from an accidental gunshot wound. My dad was robbed and killed when I was 12 years old. I was a victim of incest, molestation, and rape, and also survived a domestic violence relationship who was my best friend, and I didn't see that coming. So for me, a lot of things happened to me. And so I had a very I lived with a victim mindset for a long time. I'm the second oldest of 6 children, so we were moved around. Sometimes we were taken in for a day, only to be put out and moved to another state. To think we finally had a home to be put out from there. We were moved around, taken in, taken out, went to bed, cursed out, got up, cursed out. So, by the time I was in my 12th grade year, I was sent down to the counselor's office, and they told me I was going to see a counselor because I was at a new school, and they actually thought I was suicidal because they felt like I was so sad, and they could see all of the hurt and the pain. Come to find out, it wasn't a counselor, it was a psychiatrist, and they actually had all my friends on Dina Watch, which I didn't know, I wasn't aware of. And I had no inkling, really wasn't anywhere at a point where I thought I would have killed myself. I had an aunt that told me, one told me she was always praying for me by name. The other one told me that there was always someone who had it worse off than I did, and they hadn't given up. And so just imagining that there was one person beneath and below me who hadn't given up gave me enough to keep going. Throughout college, I cried all the time. I didn't see myself graduating, but I did. By the time I was in college, I was raising my younger siblings. I was working 3 jobs in college full time without a reason as to why I was doing it. I just did what I had to do. And over time, my stories were going to go to the grave with me. My secrets I kept with me. I couldn't tell who molested me because that would break up what little family I had left. So I carried a lot of things around with me for a very long time. And around the age of 22, I had a friend who found out his grandfather had been fondling all the girls in his family, and he had just given his life to God, and he was about to lose it. And I started sharing my story on that day, and that became the healing point, the turning point for me. So I was able to start telling. I was able to go back to the person a couple of years ago that raped me and confront him and not actually feel that I needed to be vindicated, but it just gave me that moment. The guy that killed my father, we were able to go down to the prison, interview him. So I've had some moments that have allowed me to be free. However, I didn't know how to be free. But over the last couple of years, I've learned to utilize what has happened to me and let that be my platform. I host a conference, Taking My Life Back, to find out who you are, what's your identity, why are you here, what's your purpose. And I believe that, if you can figure out what your pain is going to fuel your passion, and your passion is going to fuel your purpose. And that's how life didn't happen to you, it happened for you.
Wow, so well put, Dina.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
How about Erdina?
Okay. What name did you say?
Erindira? How do you pronounce that?
Let's see. Okay.
Erin.
It is Erindira. Erindira, you there? Erindira. Erindira?
Yandi.
Is it Nicole? You chiming in? Oh, Yendi. Okay, Yendi. So we should say Yendi. Yendi, can you hear us?
Yeah.
It's like a funny remix. Yendi, there she is. Can you unmute yourself, honey? There you go. Oh, her reception's not good.
Hello. What an inspiration. Hi, I'm here because Nicole invited me. And we're both in the car with our kids. Last I saw Nicole. Sit down. I missed the question because I was running into Kuman to get my daughter.
Yeah, what is a win you've had today?
Oh, my win today. I am a criminal defense lawyer, and my win today was that I had a client who called me who actually thanked me for advice on getting her rid of her lawyer who wasn't helping her. And the fact that my client had faith in me and believed in me and trusted me, that's a huge win. Every single time, I am always so grateful for that. And the fact that my children are with me, that's a big win too, that I have the flexibility to be with them, because that wasn't how it was for a long time. I missed a lot. I have 3 kids, one's 22 and then a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old. With my oldest daughter, I was at a job, I was tied down, and I never had the ability to be there for her for these kind of things. It was always having to justify to the powers that be. And so now I'm my own boss, and I'm struggling with the business part of being my own boss. I'm great at serving, I'm great at caring, and I'm great at spirit, but I'm not good at business, so I really need help. That's why I'm here.
Amazing. Well, That's fantastic. Is this your first time?
I was here a couple times before, and I'm looking at the possibility of going to Forbes with Nicole in September.
Yeah, so I will let you know that the business part is hard for me too. I'm just like you. I'm super highly energetic, but when it comes to business, I don't really know what I'm doing. And Forbes, I'm a business coaching client of hers, and I'm speaking in front of 100 people on Tuesday. And she said, "Tucker, what are you selling?" And I said, "Nothing." And she's like, "No, you're selling something, or you're not going to be my client." And so we outlined a package so that I could sell something on stage, but I'm not allowed to sell it. So I'm packaging up as a free gift. And that's what I learned in Business Mastery, and what you'll probably learn when you go to September, the last 2 days. And it's incredible what Forbes has and the knowledge he has and how on the pulse. So you are in great hands if you go with Nicole.
Well, I am learning that it's the personal life experience that really makes us successful. Hey, you guys. You know, it's the falling down and picking yourself up that allows you to do the selling, and it's those blocks that make it, you know, that we put there ourselves, that we set our limits, and those phobias like, oh, I'm not good at business, and it's just like learning how to repackage and new perspective to really motivate you. And just watching Nicole, who has like so much energy and such a beautiful perspective, is really inspirational. And listening to Dina and listening to everybody is just, it's so helpful.
Good.
And can I read you guys the start of my speech?
Yeah.
So I got in a little trouble when I was in college, a lot of trouble. And I want to start, and I was going back through my emails today, and I found something that was very powerful, and it was from the SMU, it was from my college cops. And I wanted to start off this speech with it. And so here it is. On February 29th, 2016, at 2:40 a.m., the college police department was dispatched to the listed location in reference to an individual, causing a disturbance and yelling. Upon arrival, college police made contact with the person in the hallway and observed blood on the back of his shirt. The person appeared to be highly intoxicated. He had glassy, bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and the odor of alcoholic beverage emitting from his breath. The person was given several verbal commands to sit on the ground, but refused to comply and was arrested when he pulled away from an officer. During intake at the jail, the person indicated that he wanted to kill himself. So he was transported to the Green Oaks mental facility. And that person was me. And I'm going to say that at the very end of my speech, is that I'm going to go next by saying, you know, does anyone ever feel like, you know, they are sitting around not doing what they're doing? Or please raise your hand if you struggle to get up every day. You know, have you ever thought about suicide? Do you ever feel like you're not good enough? Do you ever feel like you're just worthless? Do you ever feel like when you get up in the morning, you're just dreading the day? And so that was kind of the start of my speech. And is there any feedback that you guys could give me?
It's powerful. It's very powerful.
Tucker, who are you speaking to?
I'm speaking to a bunch of college students.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. That's going to fit right in because no matter where they are, you don't want the university police to come. That's not good. So that you'll grab all of their attention and they'll all be able to fit in that category.
Mm-hmm.
And also starting it off by saying that, not revealing that it was you, and then going on and talking about some of your successes and other things that you've learned along the way. And then towards the end, revealing, oh, by the way, the person I was talking about was me. That you'll stop them in their tracks. It's so awesome. I've seen so many speakers reveal themselves in just that manner. And I'm so excited for you.
Do you have any good ideas on how I can transition? Because I'm talking about how 3 people have been in my life that have given me a feeling of belief. And so I'm going from that story to identifying 3 individuals. And then I need some help like tying it all back together. Guys, that was me.
You know what I think, Tucker? There's something that comes to mind. Like if you start off with that story, which is so powerful and immediately engaging and captivating, what if, you know, after you say your story, you ask those questions, and really, I encourage you to really sink into each one of those questions as if you are asking yourself that. Like you're alone in a room, you're like, do you struggle to get up?
Those questions.
Like just sink into each one, because every person who says yes and agrees to it in their heart is going to reach out to you. But I think that there's another way to go about the revealing part, because what if after you ask those questions, you say, that person in the story was me. And I'm standing before you today, a very different and transformed person than that moment in my life. Because at that time, then you've got them in a sense like in your hands, because they have connected with you, they agree with you, they know that you've experienced different like things similar to them, but you're standing in front of them as a speaker. So it's already very clear that you're successful and you have come so far from there. And then that gives you that place to say like, here's how I got to where I am from where I was.
Yeah.
Right. And that would be your 3 people, how you can tie each one of those in.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. And
yes,
I agree. That's great. Yeah.
Okay. So, and then this is kind of how I was going to finish it off. I'm going to do a quick screen share. You guys know this video. And,
do we need our spin gyms?
yeah, I mean, it's 8 o'clock. Let's do it.
Okay. You're sorry.
9 o'clock over here.
Okay, so don't get anywhere close to the laptop because you don't shatter it. But here, just sit on your lap again.
So I just created.
So this is the.
So I was gonna finish the presentation off with this video.
Oh, wow.
I love her.
Great.
She's just a girl and she's on fire. Fantasy, lonely like a highway. She's living in a world and it's on fire. Filled with catastrophe, but you know she can fly away. Whoa, she got both feet on the ground and she's burning it down. Oh, she got her head out, but she's not backing down. This girl is on fire. Woo! Is on fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on fire. Everybody said that she goes by, 'cause they can see the pain that's in her eyes. Watch her as she's lighting up the night. Nobody knows that she's a loving girl. Didn't know the one, but she gon' let it burn, baby, burn, baby. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire.
That's great.
Nice.
Perfect.
So yeah, guys, that's how
All
we're gonna
right.
finish it. What do you think?
Double thumbs up.
Yeah, we like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that video make you guys feel?
I love
Like
it.
we're on fire.
Right.
Yeah, I love
Anything
it.
is possible. This little 6-year-old is owning it on stage. It's just
Right.
anything is possible.
Asking for air, but
Confidence.
Yes.
yeah.
Well, thank you all for this
Yeah, it's a
call.
hopeful thing.
It's going on next Tuesday, and I'm gonna get video film.
Yes.
Facebook Live, and I'm gonna send it to each and every one of you guys. All right?
And I'm so excited to see the 5 or gazillion people that you're going to bring on next Thursday to that free call.
Yes.
Right.
Johnny, I will. Well,
Thank
guys,
you.
thank you for your time today.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good
Great
night.
meeting everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, I want to-
Nice. Escape.
And